All right, you guys. I just want y'all to know that now that we're at the end, thankfully, I had to force myself to try to finish tonight because I want to make sure I get these particular last details in here. I'm exhausted. My day don't even be that exhausted. My body may be suffering from working out and stuff, but it's just the fact that, y'all, this literally occurred 2 weeks ago. So I literally ejected myself from all of it, started to get refreshed again, and I just realized how draining this story was. Like I said, I left out a lot of details that I would say they're beneficial, but it is what it is, but not that beneficial. I gave y'all the main parts. So here we go. But it is very taxing on my body. Spiritually, mentally, and physically. No. So I'm just itching to get it out and over with. So yeah, so we're going back and forth, and I just say, no, I'm not, no. And she's like, well, it's not cold to me. So, and I'm like, you don't treat people like that. When did you become this being? At this point, some of it is a part of the fact that she's mentally not together, but it is her character. And so then, the person I'm on the phone with, we've been disconnected because it literally started right after. And I was just like, well, I'm off the phone now, so I don't know what's the issue. So she's still telling me to get out. And I'm like, no, no. So she decided to say, well, I'm going to call the police. Come again and say, what? You going to do, huh? And in my head, I was just like, that threat, let alone, exiles you, from just, what? That's the type, that's what you're doing now? That's what's going on? From what I've been through, this is how you're about to escalate this? You didn't even say, here, take my car to go somewhere. If you really wanted me to do anything, that's if. But okay. I just said, I'm not leaving, so call them. I'm not saying I wasn't thinking she was going to call them or not, but it's just the principle, I'm not finna leave. That's stupid. No, I paid to be here. This is what it was. You're being petty, evil, conniving, disgusting at that. So she ends up calling them. And I'm like, okay, cool. So at that point, I just kind of start packing a mini bag because I ain't never been through nothing like that. Nobody ever called the police on me because I'm not a confrontational being. And the whole time I'm just like, wow, this really how things finna spin right now? All right, bet. So I didn't argue back and forth. Mind you, if you call the police, why you still trying to be the antagonizer? She just throwing jabs. That's why, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, where you got to go now? Where you got to go now? Da, 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 da. And I'm just silently packing my bags, but I call my stepsister because at this point, I need a witness and just be on the phone. So I get my little bag and I end up leaving. As I'm leaving, because I'm just let me walk to the front of the gate and just figure everything out from then. Because like I said, I don't know. And she says, my stepsister was like, you should have rights. That doesn't make sense. You've been there. You should have rights. And I'm like, I don't know. But I seen the police circling, clearly trying to find an apartment as I'm leaving out. So I'm like, wow. So I'm outside for a good 30 minutes, walking, not far from the complex, just a little area that I was in. She decided, not she, so then I just tell her, hey, I have rights, which I end up boiling down to figuring out because I'm like, no, I'm not finna go spend no extra money to get no hotel or anything like that when I'm already with the notion of I'm just gonna have to find some temporary, do what I gotta do and blah, 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 because this is dangerous to me now. She's a mentally insane, disrespectful, whatever else word you can name in the book is. So I'm just like, I mentally can't do that. But at the same time, my things are there. So I'm texting her I got rights. I got at least 30 days to be there before you can try to throw me out or whatever like that. And she's like, no, I don't. And I said, since you know it all the time, how about you go look up the law, baby? I've gotten mail there, and I have our proof of text that states of me being here. You do know I'm a tenant here, regardless if you like it or not. And outside of that, and she was just like, no, I'm going to sit your stuff outside, stuff like that. And I'm like, you do that, I guarantee you, I will be right there at your leasing office letting them know that I am there. Because at the end of the day, I ain't got nothing to lose, and I'm not trying to escalate this no more than it be, but if you want to be that type of person, two can play that game, but I ain't playing no game with you. I'm protecting my items because you think you can do whatever you want. I don't know where you got this inkling from, but okay. You want to think you showing somebody? You being so stupid. So she was like, oh, you're so selfish. You're going to go to the lease. And I'm like, how you trying to ask for sympathy and throw this and that at the same time you acting big and bad? Baby, it don't work that way. No. So going back and forth, so she's trying to like throw other jabs. And I said, look, it's either yes or no, you're going to let me back in. I have to call the police this time. And she was like, no, I'm not. I'm like, okay, cool. I said, thank you. Because at first she just acted like she didn't want to give me an answer. I said, whatever. So I ended up telling her, I called the police. She was like, whatever. Then I was just like, you just don't know. So I called them. They sent somebody out to where I'm at. And I end up walking back to the complex. They get through the gate. He knocks on her door. He knocks on her door and he tells her, you can't do that. She has rights here. So she's being irate. But before he knocks on the door, I end up telling him, hey, this is the type of person she is. She's hostile. She's this. And she possibly can't communicate properly. She does have mental issues. But at the same time, this is her. So like I said, I'm just trying to get back in. It's not an issue. It's my items are there. So when he knocked on the door and he's telling her, she's like a tyrant, like a little child. You don't understand. I'm the only one that's willing to take her in. Nobody else is. She's so hard to live with. And he literally standing at her like, you know how you got a cop that can't say certain things, but at the same time giving you looks, emotions like, I see what you're talking about? Because it's like you're just giving it away. You are the antagonizer. You're not making any sense. You're in the wrong. You're doing unlawful things, X, Y, and Z. You're making this environment hostile by yourself because this girl ain't even responding. I don't want her to be here. He's like, it doesn't matter. Fine. She was like, and then now she's in front of the cops saying to me, very disrespectfully, come in, come the F in, just come the F in, all that stuff. And he's like, ma'am, watch your language. Ma'am, you need to calm down. Ma'am, you need to do this, blah, blah. So at that point, she lets her cats out because she got her door open. He literally watches it happen. And she goes to blame me for her cats running out. And he blinked like, what? You did, you dummy. Like I said, she's so let me refrain from certain words because I don't ever want to call anybody that, especially when they have a mental disorder. But I'm telling y'all, the way that she be thinking, she be a hierarchy and all that, and I know this and that. Okay. So, yeah. So as she goes to get her cats and talks to the cop, I go ahead and make my way in, and I'm sitting on my bed, my little bed. So she on 1,000. Her neighbor's like, what? I don't care, because at this point, you're embarrassing yourself, bruh. I'm going to stop here and I'm going to come back.